my thoughts on case closed six movies, starting with the Time-Bombed Skyscraper. It's good. It's good. I liked it. Well, sorting mail at Dr. Agawa's house, Conan finds an invitation addressed to Jimmy from Lo Leo Joel, a famous architect. Jimmy calls Rachel using his voice changing bow tie and asks her to go on in his place. Rachel agrees on one condition, that Jimmy goes to a movie with her on Saturday. On Saturday morning, Conan reveals receives a call from a strange man who changes Jimmy's to changes to who challenges Jimmy to a game. Conan attempts the challenge, and the mystery caller gives him clues locating bombs hidden all over Tokyo. Conan finds and destroys every one because of the location of the bombs. Never structure designed by finds Joel. Conan dis- deduces that the bomber is Joel, who planned to destroy his own infrastructures, work, and create a perfect new building upon its arrest. Joel raises reveals the location of his final bomb, Brooklyn City building, the location of Jimmy and Rachel's date. The bombs explode and seal the and entrances and exits, trapping Rachel and the others inside. Glenn makes his way through the collapsed building, but a warped door blocks him out from Rachel. Using his bow tie and cell phone, he calls Rachel and asks her to look for the bomb. Rachel finds it in a large shopping bag. To disarm the bomb, Jimmy tells Rachel which wires to cut. However, Joel made two extra wires, one red and one blue. One of them is booby trapped, but Jimmy has no idea. Jimmy tells Rachel to cut either one as the rescue team arrives and Rachel's halfway. Jimmy realizes that Joel knew that Rachel's favorite color was red and booby trapped the red one. In the last few minutes, Rachel makes a decision. This is discovered to cut the blue wire because the red wire misses to red string of fate between Jimmy and herself. I liked it. If you haven't, I like this movie. I like it. I like it. It's a good movie. If you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely give it a watch. This next movie, The 14th Target. Rachel has a nightmare of her mother, Eve, being shot, and she calls her up to disclose it. It after the phone call, Eve begins questioning herself if her daughter is beginning to remember an incident that left a scar on her upper right across town. J.T. Morris is released from prison and insists to visit Richard. Dr. Augustus takes the junior detective league to a museum where they where they see Elmo Corrustion, a famed photographer, stepping pictures Michael Shaw, the other member of Conan's could guess the right answer at the Moore agency. Moore leaves after receiving no answer. Rachel and Sorella are attempting attending the book signing of Estelle Messinora. Sorry if I'm butchering any of these names. They later visit a cafe where Rachel immerses the right figure between her purse, picture, which results in her back at the assigned angle. Richard is getting ready for dinner with Eve. Conan notices. Conan notices a TV interview with Christopher Alistan, the owner of the newly built aquatic crystal and entertainment complex station in the middle of the bay. Well, meeting Eve at the restaurant, Richard runs into two of his old friends, Henry Tosh and Professor Goffin, who is training for training for the U.S. Open, and Kevin Smith, a so more. The date goes the date goes well until Richard notices Peter Fort, a newscaster, flirting with his friend Timmy Days. He gets jealous and can causes Eve to leave abruptly. Uh, a week later, Interfish, Margaret Eve, a ascent are attacked by the mysterious agents looking behind a cardboard western sword flower, uh, an ornament received at the crime scene. Conan discovers that the item comes from the king, queen, and jack card playing cards. specifically the suit of spades, which results order and spirits a with Richard when trying to figure out the position. Richard Moses J.T. Morse and sent card dealer who he arrested 10 years prior. Instant and tried to shield light and on and light on instant, but mission streams insight on prevent the next attack. While driving, Conan asked about the incident where Suga received that after Morse was finished with questioning, he went to the bathroom, overpowered the his slick guard, took his gun, and attempted to escape. Eve, with brought along a long Rachel and taken Richard a change of clothes which was taken hostage. Richard, then a police officer worked under Morrison, drew his gun, which led to a brief standoff that ended with a shot. His gun having Eve in the caught Morse off guard, and Richard fired a second time, hitting him in the left shoulder. Richard wouldn't go on and, and proceed his position, rather fingerprint on his ascent. Richard is the set after leaving the truth and after learning the truth and the stuff herself from Rachel. Rachel is distraught after learning the truth and distances herself from Richard. The next day, Conan remembers that Henry is retaking the 10th best golfer in the world and realizes relays the information to Richard, causing them to tighten security when Henry wants to go flying in his helicopter. During the ride, Henry's eyes begin to drift, and Conan discovers something. He replayed them with a time capsules. He swiftly acts and crash lands the helicopter in the 10th elementary playground. Everyone makes it out of the helicopter as the helicopter explodes, leaving behind card number 10, and Henry is forced to withdraw from the U.S. Open. The instant team golf, the investigation team goes to the home of Kevin Smollers as he is number 8 on the list for attending a school with an 8-year program. Kevin explains that he has met with Christopher Usant around the new resort. That Christopher owns 9 buildings and the team tags along with as security. At Aqua Center, the meet they meet nine Nala Ola, Emily Koash, and Peter Florden. However, Christopher is not there. During the more the monorail ride, they discover that Santos is the youngest of three children, and their birthdays are separate 3 years apart. Elmo has 6 children, and Peter's last name has 4 letters. Richard, Rachel wishes that Jimmy could be the ace that he's number 1 in main ding as well as Japanese top detective. Once at the restaurant, Nell and Martian get into an argument over Martian's food requirements. He writes in his book. Nell changes him to be bent taste blind taste test. Hmm. Ugh. Uh, Watch Morse ap- approaches Bill, but fails. Kevin insists to whine and guesses the correct answer, leaving Morse embarrassed at Christopher's recent visa. A letter. The group visits the wine cellar where Kevin insists bring a crossbow trap never near the weapon. Card number 8. Realizing they are in danger, the group Christopher in the fish tank. According to his body, the card number 9. Richard explains that the situation at the T.J. Moore to everyone. Niall Figures explains she near hit someone riding a motorcycle with her car, but sped off without helping the victim. Well, all emergency exits blocked off with confident the killer first to seek and shuts off the power. Nessa and in her nails glowing in the dark, beginning to panic and run right into the killer who stabs her to death. Her body found along with the 7 of spades and the Joker, the juice Conan had earlier uh, is beside to have been kicked over by the killer. He went ever else Conan investigates Nessa's murder and notices one of her nails broken from the finger. The wine cork it she had is missing, and the palm reside made by the right hand prison it on her back. On her back. Uh, he remains more dating with the left hand, thus clearing him of any wrongdoing. He finds the chef of the individual standing with the juice suspect, then them to be the killer. Conan finds Salt in the kitchen and gives everyone water to drink, and the puzzle who the killer is. Bombs explode at the aquatic crystal, trapping everyone inside. Temp more bombs go off with the sprint number 626 through 2 emitting from the water. Everyone manages to swim to the shore, which, with the exception of Rachel, she is saved by Conan, and Richard Morse is unconscious from the incident, and Kevin volunteers to perform CPR, but Conan does through Richard's voice forces Santos to do it. Richard obviously conflicts to put to sleep, and Conan theorizes that the culprit has a change culprit to more than to take advantage of the situation and their past history. The serial killer has resolved to be Kevin Smith. Most of his victims were merely pawns in his real targets. Mal Oval, Christopher Morris, and Henry Tush. After murdering Christopher, Kevin set up his own trap in the wine cellar. His motive is that he has since discovered and is an upon to task fluid to or drink due to trauma and success. Kevin was seen testing chili pepper sometime something similar shouldn't do. He was also given salt water by Conan and didn't react to it. Thus, soon his surface that events the wine cork now present before he her death he found in Kevin's possession when he attacked her. She turned around and slipped it into his coat pocket without his knowing. Also inside is the ace of spades he ensures he intended for Jimmy Kudo. Now on to, haven't seen it yet? It's a good movie. Now on to The Wizard of the Last Century. The Phantom Thief Kid sends a hesitant note warning of the heist. The police note that the next target is a discovered Fabergé egg, which some modern art museum in Okinawa will display on August 22nd, the night of the heist. Kid steals the egg and first off, and Conan and Hazard gives chase. However, in the middle of the chase, an unknown assault shooter kid is shoots Kid in the right eye, and Kid appears falls into the sea to his death after recovering the egg. The police search for Kid's body. The next day, Conan so they go on this uh, hunt. So long story short, they go on this hunt. There's two eggs, and it's called the memory egg. If you haven't seen this story, if you haven't seen this movie yet, it's good. Now on to the next one. Now on to case the Cape in captured in her no onto captured in her eyes. It's a good movie. Uh, they go. Ryan has a flashback of Sissons taking her to the mountain at Tropical Land, the location of amusement park where he was turned into where Kudos was turned into a kid. Uh, they go and to solve a crime. There's this detective who gets murdered, and his uh and they find out who his murderer is. It's a good movie. I liked it. Now on to Countdown to Heaven. There's this building that's being opened, and they're invited to the opening at the grand to the they're invited to the grand opening party. At the grand opening party, Mason hosts a 30-second guessing game in which Richard wins by pure luck. She then shows, and he wins a car. Uh, and then the power room explodes, and then the computer rooms explode, setting the building on fire. They escape. The bridges connecting the two buildings blow up. One on the 60th floor and one on the 40th floor. And the kids are trapped, and then there's a bomb, and they use the explosion for the bomb to launch the car into the other building. The other building has a roof that opens up, and they launch the car, and the car goes into the pool, which is on the roof, of the other building. It's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch. Next up, The Phantom of Baker Street. There's this guy named there's this bad guy. He who is a descendant of Jack the Ripper, and he and this kid, this really smart kid, just finds out, and he tries to shut him up, but he creates this thing called Noah's Ark, and Conan finds out, and they go into the game, and he takes over the game, and only one person has to win if, in order for them all to live. If everyone if everyone loses, they all die. And the game that Conan and his friends pick is 18th century London, where they meet up with Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Watson, Professor Moriarty, and the programs are in their program in the AIs are programmed to think that they're the street urchins, and yeah, and so they capture Jack the Ripper, and find out and they find out that that guy who set this all up, who caused the smart kid to commit suicide, is related to Jack the Ripper, and yeah, it's a good movie. I liked it. This has been my thoughts on six movies of Conan of Case Closed. If you want to be updated on my videos, please click the bell icon so you never miss a video. And thanks for watching.